So I have a business called the Booth Network, and basically it's a digital ecosystem that allows music creators to connect, collaborate, grow, and monetize their craft. So the creators that are included are all the people involved in the music creation process. So that's producers, artists, audio engineers, DJs, songwriters, and musicians. And basically, it's a platform that connects and integrates networking, connectivity, gamified rankings, and also collaboration, right? So the whole idea is splitting up the roles necessary to create music and basically giving them a platform to connect, collaborate, right? Make music. So if you're a producer, you could link with an artist, or let's say you upload a beat to the platform, an artist might comment, think it's fire, whatever, exchange contact information, and then work, right? You guys create a song, create a final track, and then you can upload that to the actual network and tag that collaborator and have other people comment and interact and engage with your post. In addition to that, though, there are four tabs. You're gonna have your home page, which is gonna have like your following. You're gonna have the search page. You're gonna have the connect page where you can. It's gonna have like a dating style interface where you could essentially swipe right or left. And the whole goal of this particular tab is to essentially have creators connect in real time, right? So like you'll have like a distance radius, and you'll be able to like find artists in Brooklyn. You feel me? Find producers in Brooklyn, find engineers in Brooklyn. It's also gonna have a marketplace, right? So this is going to include e-commerce. So as music creators, we provide products in addition to services. So producers can sell their beats on there. They can sell drum kits. They can sell melody loops. They can sell stems. Engineers can book sessions, right? So like if you're a recording engineer or a mix and mastering engineer, you can have sessions booked, right? You can sell that. As an artist, you can sell open verses, hooks, songwriters. You can sell actual song lyrics. Musicians, you could sell like tutorials or production or music lessons. So a variety of different goods and services. And the most engaging aspect of this is it's incentivized, right? So the whole idea is in addition to providing a platform for all music creators to collaborate, you guys also get rewarded and receive a membership rank based on your productivity and output on the platform, right? So there are four criteria: hustle, buzz, clout, connection. Those four criteria, you'll receive basically a measurement bar, and your production on the platform in those criteria will interact with those metrics, right, and factor into a membership ranking, which is essentially your status. So think of like on Instagram how they have verified pages. It would be similar in that way where your status, your membership rank, there are three: bronze, gold, diamond. That would be displayed on your profile. But this is very much earned, right? So everybody starts out as a starter, and you have to earn and elevate and work and collaborate with one another in order to kind of level up as well. So this is a space basically where music creators, like, this is for us, right? Oftentimes we have to go to various different entities or locations to find these other music creators, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, X, Snapchat, whatever the case may be. We're trying to create a consolidated platform where we all can meet, right? So this is one platform for us. So this is the very first aspect of what the Booth Network is. And I want creators to kind of look at this as a movement, right? Like, this is about collective bargaining, coming together, and essentially fighting for... No, I'm good on that. Fighting on behalf of creators' rights. You feel me? And coming together and being able to go to a company like Spotify or Apple Music and be like, hey, why is it that we're getting 6/100 of a penny? That's like taking out a penny and cutting off a slither of that shit. That's what a single stream is worth. But the only way to kind of renegotiate that is to kind of come together and build like a guild-like system, right? So, in addition to the digital aspect, right, the infrastructure side, this is very much us trying to move together and fight for, creators. And I think that's very important, especially with AI and how technology is moving. You got people like Timbaland who are co-signing AI artists. And it's like, bro, like, what about all the artists that are not getting paid? The human artists that are not getting paid. Like, and don't get me wrong, I'm not against, technology or, AI in the creative space, but it's like we have a massive problem that we're not addressing, and then we're trying to move on to the next thing. That is in direct contradiction to what we're trying to do as creators. So yeah, that's the Booth Network. There are, so like I said, it's a total digital infrastructure. So the first aspect is for the creators, right? But there's also, I want to give creators a space where they can fund that music. So I want to also create the Booth DSP, which is where the music creators can now publish the finished product that's created on the Booth Network and then place it through the DSP. And also through a system that is a lot quicker, right? Because this is all integrated within one digital infrastructure. And also in a way that's fair to music creators, right? I'm a producer, I'm an engineer, I'm a musician. So as all of those things, I have every other producer, artist, musician, engineer, songwriter, and DJ's best goal in mind, because I'm a part of the community that I'm trying to serve, right? So I think that's where the disconnect happens between a lot of these platforms, because they don't really care. So it's about time that we care and move as a collective to fight on behalf of creator rights. And this is the first step. Like, although this is very technology based, this is once again like a movement for creators by a creator. So in terms of where the business is right now, this is kind of the starting point as far as putting it out there, promoting the idea. I have a team of 2 solid engineers, both front end and back end, who focus on design and both like the functionality of the platform. We have a $10,000 estimate for how much it would cost for the technologies for us to build it. So basically, we're starting this campaign and we're trying to get the funding and we're trying to ratchet everything up. But like I said, they're very good at what they do. They know their craft well, and I'm more than confident that like I could really create something tangible once this gets off the ground and once we have the funding for it. So yeah, man, that's my little spiel. If you guys got any
I love the idea.
Any questions?
Yeah, so let them know. Like,
it's down beautiful. That's
yeah. So just a reminder, it's an app itself, or it's like, it's just gonna be an app and a website.
Yeah. So essentially, it's both a web and mobile based application.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So there will be some features on the web application, like in terms of uploading to the DSP. Once that is officially rolled out, that'll be something that you can only do on the website, right? Because that's a lot to manage on a cell phone.
Yeah.
But yes, it is both a mobile and web-based platform. And in addition to the digital infrastructure, there's also a festival behind it. So to give you guys some context into how the idea even came about, I was getting high one day. This was about 2020, and this is the middle of the pandemic. I think it's like summertime, and I was chilling with an acquaintance of mine, and I was still in school, and I guess I just had school shit on my mind, and I was like, hey, like, what if there was a like job fair type event for musicians? Now, mind you, me being naive at the time and being a newbie to production, I didn't really know that these things already had existed, but it was kind of just like a naive thought that came about, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, thinking of the premise of a job fair, you have all the students come into the gymnasium or some room or whatever, and you have all the companies and the corporations sitting around with their contact information and with pamphlets and material and paper or whatever. And the students come in and shop around. And then I was thinking, well, what if you applied that same idea to, and where the artists take the role of the students, and you have like the producers and the engineers with like tables and equipment and samples of their production and some of the artists that they've worked with, and you have the artists come in and just work the room and shop around. And then we were like, yo, like, that's a fucking great idea. And then that kind of just spiraled into a whole bunch of other thoughts and ideas. And then we were like, all right, well, how would we promote this? And then that's when we were like, all right, well, what if we had like an application to promote the idea annually, right? And then we were like, whoa, we could do a whole lot more with this app thing, right? We could solve a whole nother issue as far as, creators not having an integrated platform to do multiple different functions. You know what I'm saying? Let alone a platform that is going to advocate for the rights of music creators. That's going to advocate for fair pay for music creators, right? So that's kind of how the whole idea kind of started. So it's a 3-piece, I guess, entity, right? So you have the networking platform, which is for the music creators specifically. Then you have the DSP, which is also for the music creators, but this is the outlet for which they publish their music, and this is how they connect with their fans.
That's like the DistroKid, right? Like for them.
It's not necessarily. It's more like a Spotify or Apple Music,
like
where they can actually stream. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So like
okay,
the
gotcha,
distribution is done through our system, but the DSP is just the DSP.
So it's just direct to consumer.
Yes, pretty much. And then, cutting out the middleman, because I've been doing a lot of research into just like the music business. And there's a book by Donald Passman called All You Need to Know About the Music Industry. I would definitely recommend that book to anybody who's trying to get into the music business, because that is an in-depth summary on everything that you literally need to know. And, obviously everything may not apply to you, but it's just good to know about just how everything operates while working together. And in that book, I'm realizing like a lot of the issues with low creator pay and artist pay is simply because administratively there are so many pieces that have their hand in the pot. You feel me? You have all these different types of royalties, 6, 7 of them. Then there are different agencies for each of those royalties that end up collecting those payments. You feel me? So what I've realized is that if I can create this digital infrastructure, I can literally cut out all of those pieces once I establish the network for it to do so. But that's one of the problems as to why artists are not receiving the revenue that they should receive, is because you got the mechanical licensing collective, and then you have PROs and all these other people that are getting pieces of the pie, and it's like, we need to be thinking about a system where we don't need to do all that. Like, we have the age of technology, but unfortunately the technology is being used against us, not for us. And that's essentially what this platform is looking to do, right? So, yeah. That's my little spiel.
That's so wavy.
Yeah, you can follow the Instagram page. We'll definitely have a link for that. But yeah, it's about time that like we organize as a collective. So if you're down for that and want to see higher streaming revenue and want to literally expand your network as far as music creators, want to have a more interpersonal and direct relationship with your fan base as well. That's something that we're actively trying to do, right?